people, and I really think that's a wonderful thing about Rotary. So briefly about me. I mean, I grew up and down the Rockies on ranches in Wyoming. My family my grandparents had a plumbing and heating business in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is kind of a home base. Went to school in Colorado, Colorado School of Mines. Worked for a few years at NCAR as an applications programmer. Things took a bit of a twist, went to Belize, found Kathy there. Really great experience for me, my treasure from Belize, if you will. And then came back, worked in the States in Phoenix for a while at a small consulting engineering firm, then at the lab for almost 33 years. And along the way in the mid-2000s, about 2004, 2005, I started thinking about what I wanted to do in the next phases. And so I started a nonprofit. It's in northern Belize. It's an opportunity for service. I started volunteering with Engineers Without Borders. And now I'm just delighted to be able to accommodate Rotary into my avenues of service, if you want to think about it. Because that's one thing that comes to me is whenever you look, there's just no shortage of opportunities to give and contribute. And I like the way Millie's put it for this season, and to have a good time doing it with good people. So that's my talk.
Find your love. That's awesome. So our second half of our member talks is we're going to hear from Jack Noonan. He's been in our club. He's, as President Phil started a while ago, is hearing from our tenured members, and he is on the list to give us a talk today. So welcome, Jack.
Before I want to tell you about myself, I want you to tell me that one day Al Lewis and I are very lucky to be here alive. And what happened is we were in court when Livermore Court was present, and Al had a habit of putting everybody in jail if they violated probation. And on this one day, he decided not to do that. Well, the person left with his girlfriend, went down by Portola and by Caltran and blew up. And what happened was this guy was in the bar across the street from the court next to Dom Surplus. He vowed that if he was going to jail, he vowed if he was going to jail, he's going to blow the courthouse up. And so consequently, unbeknownst to anybody, and I'm sure Al can't tell us today why he let this guy go. Unbelievable. And the reason why I know the story is because I represented the woman. He got killed, man. Woman got charged with conspiracy, and eventually was dismissed because she lost her hearing and was paralyzed for life. And so she went back to her home. But if he hadn't been unusual that day, we would not be here today. So it's never hit the newspapers. And so the next day, a friend of mine and I went over to Dom Surplus, picked up a hand grenade, and gave it to Al. And he still has it today. I was born and raised in San Francisco, went to St. Ignatius, went to Santa Clara University, and then went into service for 2 years in 2nd Armored Division in Germany. Okay, and I met my wife, who was on a Santa Clara tour. I met her in Heidelberg, and about 2.5 years later we got married. And then I went to law school at Santa Clara, and that lasted for about 1.5 years until we had one boy and twins. And so we ended that, came back to San Francisco. I taught school at Burton High and coached and went to night law school. Finished that, and then I went to the district attorney's office for 7 years in Alameda County. And then I got an offer to come out here for a firm with Miller, Critchfield, and Eaton at that time. And Miller went south, Critchfield went up to Friday Harbor, Mark became a judge, and I moved over to Pleasanton for business. We had our office with Tim Weaver on 4th Street originally, and then we built the building at the corner of Holmes and Murrieta, where Bruce Gockles and Marshall Camina. And so we built that building, I think, close to the 80s. And then about 87, we then split, and Mark became a judge, and I came over to Alameda County, and I came over to Stone Ridge, and I've been at Stone Ridge ever since. And my wife taught school at St. Michael's for 25 years, and I taught school at Las Positas for 20 years, just to keep us busy. And I'm still working. But we've been here since 1971, and our children all grew up here. They're now split all over the state, from San Diego to Manhattan Beach to here. And my daughter works with me, and for our glad's sake, my son-in-law is coming home from Afghanistan after 5 years, and will be home for good. That's amen.
I didn't know you could buy hand grenade bombs.
Yes, you
Still can. You still can?
Great tie.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Jack. That was really informative. That's good. So, Carolyn, are you in the room? Carolyn Zickery? We have your blue badge. Okay, and then we'll bill you for $10. Yep.